Welcome to Courage Rain's WesternTack certification instruction. Let's start with some Western saddle vocabulary. The cinch holds the saddle on the horse's back. The cinch buckles to a short strap on the right side of the saddle called the short latigo. And the latigo is a long strap on the left of the saddle that ties the cinch in place. The stirrup is where the rider puts his or her feet. The pommel is a swell at the front of the saddle to which a horn may be attached. And the back of the seat on a saddle is the cantle. A saddle pad is used under the saddle to protect the horse's back. A riser pad may be used on top of the regular saddle pad for horses with sway backs. It lifts the back of the saddle. And a half pad may be used on top of a regular saddle pad for horses with low withers. It raises the front of the saddle. Always tack only after the horse has been groomed. Show the tack to the horse first, then place it on the horse's back slowly and gently. And when you're working with a student, put on all tack from the left side. Here's a demonstration. Start by showing your saddle pad to the horse, then place the saddle pad on the middle of the horse's neck, sliding it back into place. This way, all the hairs on the horse's back are facing the same direction. Make sure the saddle pad covers the withers completely. Show the saddle to your horse. Grab the pommel or the front of the saddle in your left hand and the cantle or the back in your right hand. If there's a horn, you can place the right stirrup over it. A gentle swinging motion with your back to the horse is a great way to both soothe the horse and help you lift a heavy saddle. Place the saddle gently on the horse's back, lined up with the withers, and make sure no straps are stuck underneath the saddle. Check that the saddle is straight and centered. The cinch is next. Show it to your horse, then go around to the right side. Buckle the cinch to the short latigo. Keep the two layers together and buckle them both into the cinch at the same time. Then lower the stirrup. On the left side, if there's a horn, put the left stirrup up over it. Facing the horse's tail, rub down the cinch line of the horse's belly with the top of your left hand, reaching under to grab the cinch, all the while keeping in contact with the horse. Pull out the long latigo and run it through the ring on the cinch. Pull the latigo up through the ring on the saddle, then down through the cinch again, and back up through the ring on the saddle a second time. To finish, tie a Texas T knot. Take the end of the latigo and cross it in front of the loops, going from the direction of the horse's head toward the tail. Run the latigo back up through the ring on the saddle, and then like a tie, take the latigo back down through the loop you just made. And when you're finished, lower the left stirrup. When you're putting the saddle away after the lesson, fold the latigo about 2/3 of the way down. Tuck it into the ring and equal out the folds. The cinch should be tightened about 3 times before the rider gets on. The first time, make it snug enough to hold the saddle in place, but it doesn't need to be extra tight. Tighten it again when you get into the arena after checking that the saddle is centered. The instructor must check the cinch before the student gets on and will usually tighten it again. If an instructor forgets, please politely remind them. The instructor may check and tighten one more time after the student has gotten on. And a few important reminders. Keep the tack off of the ground. Never wrap the reins or lead rope around your hand. Tack only when given permission and supervised by staff. And if you're having a hard time with something, ask staff for help. We appreciate your questions. Thank you. Please go back and review anything that you'd like to, and then complete the short quiz.